Now here is your host, Garth Christopher. No borders with Garth Christopher. Tune in as he pushes the envelope in talk radio. Listen to him extend the current limits of performance and take you beyond the commonly accepted boundaries, testing those limits and taking you as far as it's safe to go. No borders exceed the existing limits. Now here is your host, Garth Christopher. No borders with Garth Christopher. Tune in as he pushes the envelope in talk radio. Listen to him extend the current limits of performance and take you beyond the commonly accepted boundaries, testing those limits and taking you as far as it's safe to go. No borders exceed the existing limits. Now here is your host, Garth Christopher.
Well, thank you very much, and a pleasant evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to No Borders with me, Garth Christopher, right here on Facebook, and also streaming live on YouTube. I want you to share the live, ladies and gentlemen. Share the live. It's been a very long time. It's been a very, very long time that I've done a live broadcast on Facebook. I mean, you all know Facebook has been giving me some problems of late, you know. They are not sharing my content. Of course, you know, Facebook is getting involved in the Trinidad and Tobago politics, unfortunately. I don't know, you know, what is your policy on free speech. Everything is about you have violated some community protocol principles, kind of standards, that kind of thing. I know definitely that, you know, people locally, political parties locally have, you know, done their thing and maybe told their agents, and I don't know, you know, they have written to Facebook and that kind of stuff, you know, complained. I mean, I do nothing bad or wrong. I don't use obscene language on Facebook. I don't libel people. You understand? I share my opinions. So you know what? I would like you all to help me to strengthen my YouTube program. You can go on YouTube and subscribe. You know, press the subscription button. So, you know, if Facebook want to play well, you know, they are the only kid on the block, you know, we will show them that that is not true. I mean, I'm looking at Facebook and I'm only seeing one person. I mean, I don't know how true that is, but all know so, you know, No Borders, especially how I ain't come on in a long time. You know, if that was the situation there, you know, I would have gotten a lot of, I mean, I would have almost, you know, I didn't used to start unless I have 100 people, and that used to come up pretty quickly. You understand what I mean? I see in Facebook only one person. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to work. All right? Now, you know that this internal election is not about Kamala. Kamala's position is not up for grabs. All right? Some people say Kamala threw her whole Natex in the lands then, and she abandoned them, she forsake them. I don't know. All right? But this election, this internal election of the United National Congress, is not about who is voting for the leadership. Kamala is already the political leader of the United National Congress, and of course her term ends in 2025. So Kamala's leadership is not being challenged. Ladies and gentlemen, Kamala's leadership is not being challenged. It is a NATEX election. It is the UNC's national executive elections. All right? Now, this internal election of the UNC is not about trying to get rid of Kamala. I need to make that point abundantly clear, because on Facebook, Kamala trolls, and UNC, no matter what, they dig all over the place. Sometimes like they don't even understand, they think you're trying to get rid of Kamala, and they call in Parry and Rambali and Anita Haynes and Rodney Charles and Kyle Taklal Singh and these people who are in the forefront of this great struggle. This great struggle to strengthen our great party, the United National Congress. And I mean, you realize our party needs to be strengthened, because they were right down the road there, Messier Community Center, right by the walkover, on the Lady Young Road, the walkover by the Lady Young Road. And ladies and gentlemen, would you imagine that Kamala Persad-Bisessar and Rudal Monilal and Jolene John and Barry Padarat and these people, they were calling Rambali, Pare, even Kamala was calling Pare, Rambali, Taklal Singh, Anita Haynes, Rodney Charles. She was calling them PNM. They called them PNM, and her own members she called PNM. But she went down in some anti-crime talk, and who was there? Twiggy and PNM Twiggy, And Kamala embraced Twiggy. Twiggy hug up Twiggy, interrupting the meeting, talking all kind of talk, all kind of out of time and talk, ladies and gentlemen. A big known PNM. They embracing Kamala and her team, Munilal and Jolene John and them. No, listen to me, no doubt about it. Somebody, maybe Munilal, because Twiggy does call Munilal uncle, because he used to feed she in HDC. You understand? And she does call him uncle. But when it comes to general election, she just cuss him. I see the other day in an election, 2020 election, UNC people going up there, boy, and Twiggy take Josie and turn around and white pin, and Lord God, Father have mercy on our poor souls. But Kamala embracing Twiggy, scraping the bottom of the barrel. I mean, how could you be calling your own MPs PNM operatives and PNM agents and sleeper cells in the UNC and all sorts of stuff, but you embracing Twiggy, a well-known PNM in an anti-crime talk, ladies and gentlemen? So, we gotta get it right. So this whole conversation, this whole exercise, this whole thrust, this whole movement is not about it. What it is about strengthening the UNC, because the UNC need to be strengthened. You see, a stronger UNC, ladies and gentlemen, is going to bring about a stronger Trinidad and Tobago. a stronger UNC will bring about a stronger Trinidad and Tobago. Because we cannot deny for 1 second that Trinidad and Tobago at this time, after almost 10 years, 9 years plus of Keith Rowley and the PNM and Fitzgerald Hines and Erla Christopher and Taxman, Imbert and the rest of them. I mean, we could go all the way back to Marlene McDonald and Daryl Smith and plenty of them who kind of, some gone and some are forgotten. You understand what I'm saying? But for now, Al Rawi and all of these people, you cannot tell me, ladies and gentlemen, that we could afford, I'm saying to you, we cannot afford another 5 years of these people. We just cannot afford that. So this internal elections is very, very vital, very, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about building a stronger UNC. As I said, this is not about Kamala. Kamala is the leader of the UNC until 2025. We acknowledge that, we accept that. But this is about the team that is around Kamala. Ladies and gentlemen, undoubtedly, you cannot properly deny, you can deny, but you cannot properly and justifiably deny the fact, it is out there, that the UNC has not won an election in 10 years, a whole decade, well, almost 10 years, a whole decade. We lost, ladies and gentlemen, we lost the election in 2015. We lost, we had 29, PNM had 12. We lost. We ended up with whatever we ended up with in 2015. And then we came on, we lost in 2020. When everybody, I mean, I was there. I was announcing, I and the late Brian Stone, we were at the headquarters. We were the, if I may say so, the kind of a go-to, more official election announcers, broadcasters, live from the Rienzi Complex, Couva South constituency office hall there. And we were bringing it live. And I mean, it was a shocker to everybody. They said, Rowley and them stole the election. I mean, if Rowley and them thieved the election, the amount of senior councillors we have in the UNC, I mean, we could have taken them to task. But let me leave that right there. My point is, we have not won. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I think I could speak for you, UNC members. I don't think there's any UNC member in Trinidad and Tobago, and even abroad, can afford to entertain even the thought, much less the fact and reality, of a third consecutive term of Keith Rowley and the PNM. We cannot. So this is not about you being emotional and sentimental and remembering Kamala between 2010 and 2015 and what she did. Listen. That ship has sailed. That gone already. That ship has sailed. Sorry, I am not saying it's sailing. That ship has sailed. It gone already. We acknowledge Kamala did a great deal, a whole lot. And you know my love for Kamala. I still love Kamala, you know, and every time you see me criticize Kamala's operations and when I make my posts and I criticize Kamala's operations and movements and lack of strategy, proper strategies. Some of you say, God, focus on the PNM. Look what hey, I got to focus on the UNC to strengthen the UNC. I have to strengthen the UNC, ladies and gentlemen. You, UNC supporter, you want me to focus on the PNM and focus on the PNM again, and I do talk about the PNM, but I got to focus on the weakness of my party. I need to strengthen my party. So in everything that every post that I make, and that may appear to be a criticism, it should be more viewed in the light of a constructive criticism, because inbuilt in every post is an advice. It's me sharing an idea of what I think the leadership of the party should do. Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Garth Christopher, who wholly and solely prosecuted Gary Griffith and this Kamala alliance. Monilal and Jolene John and all of them hug up Gary. And I keep telling them from the beginning of it, I said, hey, let Gary Griffith go and win an election before you join any forces. The man never even run an election. Philip Alexander run an election by using PP alone. Philip alone run. Well, he's another story. Philip is another story, ladies and gentlemen. But let me deal with Gary now. Gary never run an election, but here it is, Kamala now, going and joining forces with Gary. Monilal and Pararat and all of them, glad they're going and joining forces with Gary. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary brought nothing to the table. I alone, Garth Christopher alone, all Kamala trolls cussing me. They cussing me. God this, God that. Look at you, you're jealous, Gary, you're this. Why jealous in Gary for? Oh, Gary are for me to jealous. Ladies and gentlemen, you understand what I'm saying? You're jealous, Gary. Gary better than you. He brighter than you. He this, he that, he that, he that. Ladies and gentlemen, lo and behold, every single thing that I said about Gary Griffith and this Kamala alliance, ladies and gentlemen, came to pass. Every single thing. I said Gary's a man brought down the UNC when we were in office between 2010 and 2015, and he is going to bring down the UNC in opposition. Imagine the UNC wasn't in government and Gary wanted to bring them down in opposition, ladies and gentlemen, and I was right, and all of you all who were against me were wrong. You all were wrong, and it's time you all understand, ladies and gentlemen, that when you're wrong, you must say you're wrong, and you must accept you're wrong, and stop blaming me. Stop blaming me and trying to make yourself as though, well, you knew what you were saying, and his eye caused Gary to go and come and all kind of nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, so I know what I'm saying. I understand certain political strategies, and I've always said Kamala Persad-Bisessar is a very good political leader. Sorry, not political leader, a very good prime minister. But she's a bad political strategist. And I hold to that. She's a terrible political strategist, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm saying Kamala needs some strength around her. Her team is weak. Jolene John is overrated. Jolene John is overrated. She went into La Hoqueta Talparo. I was there. You remember, Garth Christopher was there. I worked on the ground with Jolene John. I brought every activity of Jolene John live and alive. People were taking streams from me. I did it. No Borders did it. Ladies and gentlemen. And you know that. Some people say sour grapes. I asked Kamala to buy a car for me, and Kamala didn't buy a car, and I vex and all kind of. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a high-valued African. I born in a poor community. I born from a poor family. You understand what I'm saying? I was getting out of poverty, and the PNM break me down. The PNM crash me and mash me up. You understand? They expected me to die, literally and figuratively. But they know they cannot kill me. They know I am very resilient. And I will take no nonsense from be it Julian John, who was this big CEO and multi-millionaire because them had plenty of money. You understand what I'm saying? I know them. I function with them. I see how they operate. I see how they treat people. I see how they undermine people. As a matter of fact, Julian John told David Naked in front of me, and David Naked as a man he has to be a man to stand up and says, yes, Julian John said it on one of the farms in we had a farm program up in La Hoqueta with the young men, and Julian John look at David Naked and say, God, Christopher, right? He from over, yes. He so. And I undermined him. She said I put in my nomination. She said I put in my nomination. She said me, put in my nomination for the Lavantillis Mova constituency. And she said she undermined me. Ask David Naked. If David Naked say he cannot remember, then he has no balls as a man, no testicular fortitude. But I can't doubt him if he say he does remember. But he was there, and she told David Naked that I know Julian John and they. Ladies and gentlemen, I know the people and the creatures and the beast we're dealing with. I know the creatures we're dealing with. These are the people who are around. She could not win. She's this big. Don't talk funds, money, it flowing. It didn't flow around me when I was doing all my camera work, little small money flow. But not, you understand what I'm saying? But when certain people come in and, they just give them big money, but I spend countless hours. I am a high-valued African. I was challenging the cause and trying to set a precedent in this country where media will stop treating the United National Congress the way they are accustomed treating us, because they treat PNM different from the way they treat UNC, activists and politicians, in Trinidad and Tobago, Trinidad media is PNM owned. And we went down in the square, and I refused to talk to them. I boycotted them. And that time, this girl from I-95, this Jamaican girl, Natalie Lego, and she was, she talked all kind of thing about Kamala and thing, and with Trump and different, she and Akash Shamaru. All you remember that? And I took her to task. And I boycotted them, and I said, this woman is going to go, PNM is going to take this woman from one of the, I think it was CNC3, she ended up on, and she left and thing. And I said, they're going to take this woman and put her right there in TTT. And so said, so done. You have to remember these things. And when they did that, I boycotted them. I and some people did a show, and I said if I know the people were going to come, I was going Monday morning right there, because they were going she was going to do her first show the Monday morning. I said I was going down there, but I'm not going down because the people are not going down, and I'm not going to fight up for no people who are not fighting for themselves. And lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, it was International Women's Day or something like that, and I watching the show. You know who on the show? Julian John, undermining me again. That is not good. These are the kinds of people who surround Kamala. God alone knows if they're undermining the woman. You cannot have these people.
So this election, this internal election, is about the team around Kamala. It's about the team that is around Kamala. Kamala needs a better team, a stronger team. Monilal making no sense. It's time for them to go Pararat making no sense. Kadisha Amin making no sense. Look at what happened the other day. Look at what happened the other day with this whole police station and this whole report and all kind of nonsense. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the kinds of people, questionable characters. Look at David Lee. This is fodder for the PNM. We need fresh blood. We need young, fresh, bright, brilliant people. People who have a track record. A track record of performance. I mean, look, Anita Haynes. What do you have about Anita? I mean, look at Anita Haynes, a bright, brilliant young woman. Look, Kyle Taklal Singh. Look at these people. Kyle is a man, a young man who is developing, doing very well in our society. He's helping young people across the board. He helps well all ages, but he's a relatively young man in his early 40s, I believe. He's doing a fantastic job in his law profession. He's being recognized more and more every single day. I remember there was a time somebody was going from the Senate on leave or some kind of vacation, and everybody saying, boy, this is a chance, boy. This is a chance for Kamala to put in Kyle Taklal Singh or a young person. Everybody was thinking Kyle Taklal Singh because he's a hard worker. He works diligently and hard for the UNC. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, lo and behold, God Father forgive Kamala and Jolene John and Rudal Monilal, and then when they make these kinds of decisions, lo and behold, you know who we saw in the Senate swearing in, being sworn in? Joel D'Souza. Joel D'Souza is who we saw was sworn in. And people were like, you left out Kyle Taklal Singh and a brilliant attorney at law to put in Joel D'Souza, who can't even string a proper constructed grammatical sentence together, and another underminer. I went up with Joel and some other activists to try to set up the break free movement, and they undermined me. They literally undermined me. Another underminer, Skippy and all of them, like to undermine people. Kamala called them. Next thing you know, a couple months I see Joel and his temporary senator for a day or a couple hours. Next thing you know, another time, everybody saying, boy, Kyle going, Kyle. Next thing you see Joel D'Souza. You know what's the first thing Joel D'Souza did? After she was sworn in, she gone up on Facebook or something and she called Oprah and she called everybody and said, look, Kamala is the best. She put in transgender in the Senate and all them kind of damn stupidness. And Monilal and Barry Padarat and Jolene John and David Lee and all of them, Kadisha Amin and all of them, and Ravi Ratiram and Glenn Ram and all of them are wrong Kamala and can't tell Kamala, what you doing? Saddam Hussein and all of them. I mean, I like Saddam. I like Jayanti Lakshmidiyal and these people. And quite frankly, I think them should cross the floor and come with this other team. With Pari and Rambali and Taklal Singh and Anita Haynes and these people. Honestly speaking, I really believe that is what they should do. And some others who over there, but people like Barry and it's time for Barry and them to go. Barry had some questionable thing. Listen, the PNM waiting on them. Don't feel rowdy. Listen to me. This is bragging rights for Rowley and them. At 3 consecutive terms, ladies and gentlemen, you UNC supporter who watching and listening to me right now, you may be a Kamala troll, or you may be a legitimate, really conscious UNC supporter. Can you afford 5 more years? Can you afford 1 more week of Keith Rowley? Much more, 5 more years? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. This is very, very, very serious. Anytime we leave this weak UNC team surrounding Kamala, we're going to lose the 2025 general election. Don't study Kamala and Munilal and Jolene John and Barry and them with their rubbish about the win the last election. Nonsense. I mean, how many times will these people come and tell us they're going to win the election? You never hear them on the election trail. They're sure they're going to win or no? These people sure they're going to win. They always make it out as though, hey, we're going to win for sure, boy. We're going to win, we're going to win. And they just lose. And when they draw, they say they win. Gary Griffith brought nothing to the table. That was Rudal Munilal and their decision. Ladies and gentlemen, now, Kamala gone on a platform and say people have to own the place. Gary not. The woman, I telling you, I back in Kamala with this one. Kamala didn't call him her name. Whether she implied it or he interpreted that way, or if she and Tobago know that is who she was talking about, whoever, that is not evidence. Gary Griffith hear that, and Gary Griffith gone on every single media house and cuss Kamala. Everything I say he was going to do, he said. He said she lazy. She didn't walk, and she didn't walk with nobody. He walked all over the place. That Gary Griffith. And then he and Philip start a cuss. Philip say listen to me, I sat down with I know these people or no. I sat down with Philip. Kingsley and I sat down with Philip. At time we were going to hold a protest and we wanted Philip and everybody, a massive protest with everybody. And I and Kingsley and I went to Philip to sit down and talk with him about it. Philip Alexander told me something, I wouldn't even say it, about Kamala. And the scorn with which he said it, it literally upsetted me, man. And I wanted to have nothing to do with that fella, because I find he was so disrespectful to Kamala. And you all know, I don't even have to tell you what Philip said for you to know that Philip Alexander was very disrespectful to Kamala on numerous occasions. Too many occasions to mention. Right on Facebook and on YouTube and public media, Philip Alexander was disrespectful to Kamala persad-bisessar, when in my own judgment, my opinion, wasn't warranted. Lo and behold, Philip come and say he hugging up Kamala. I tell them, I say, hey, this is madness. Kamala do him study that. Lo and behold, the other day, he say he going on Lego Kamala. He hugged she up the other day. Now we say he going on unhug she. And he going it alone and all that kind of stuff. But my point is, Kamala judgment, that judgment, and the people around Kamala allowing her to do those things, they are the ones. You see, Kamala needs a better team around her. She needs a better team, a stronger team, a more strategic team, a more visionary team. That is where Rushton Parry and these men come in. Rodney Charles and he been around her. I don't know if she used to listen to him. And he's a fighter in Parliament. As a matter of fact, Rowley Frady in Parliament. Rowley and them real targety. Rodney Charles. Ladies and gentlemen, I watching this 7 people watching that. All you know when God Christopher on, and this is not a boast. All you know when I used to start with 100 people, else means starting. I imagine I on for how long now? Maybe about 35 minutes I on, and 6 people on Facebook. All you know, that is a test. That is evidence that Facebook is fighting me a war. For what reason? Because of the things I say. These politicians, local politicians, call the agents in Facebook. And yes, Facebook are agents, local agents, and they get into the local politics. So I want you all to help me to strengthen this program by taking this live and sharing it all in your WhatsApp groups. And let's see how we could. I wish I could come off of Facebook, I'm telling you, and build another platform. Facebook too political. You will never see me on a program for so long and you seeing 4 people on any live. All you know that too. So this is evidence. This is evidence that Facebook fighting God Christopher war. What I violated? What standard, community standard I violated? I don't violate nothing. All you see my posts on Facebook, any post that I make is violating any community standard. I don't libel anybody. It's local people, local politicians. They complained about me. And the local agents who in Facebook business, they decided to not share my content. We have to address this. We have to address this, ladies and gentlemen. We need to address this. I don't know. I will get some advice. But I know for sure, I not on no stream for no, I not on no Facebook for no time. It's hundreds of people you ought to see. Or at least 100, but I know more than 100, you ought to see hundreds. But we have to address this. Definitely have to address this. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to be, too long here, but you see, we need a new approach, eh? We need a new approach. We need new strategies. We need to win. Everybody, all UNC people, whether you're the Kamala troll or whether you're a genuine, competent, conscious UNC member or supporter, all of us know we cannot afford 5 more years of Kit Rowley. That will be 15 consecutive years. We cannot afford that. And Kamala and her current team, her current natics, ladies and gentlemen, just not cutting it. They do not have what it takes. They don't have the killer instinct. They don't have the winning instinct. In 10 years' time, you have won no major battles, and you're trying to deceive us and deceive yourselves. Well, you can't deceive yourself. You're trying to deceive us. I come in to tell us that you win when you lose and when you draw. Come on, stop it. So we need to come out and vote. We need to organize ourselves. I am telling you, if Parry and them come at our property, I could be disappointed, because I telling you, people like Barry Palarat and who is the party organizer and election officer and them 3 deputy political leaders, David Lee and Jolene John and Mooney Lal and all of them had to go. They holding down the party, they holding back Kamala. They are not giving Kamala solid advice. Don't tell me all they giving Kamala good advice and Kamala is not taking the advice. Then we're telling me Kamala is a runaway horse and she's uncontrollable. Ladies and gentlemen, all right, I don't want to take too long. I don't want to go on much longer. I would do some more lives. I would, have to organize certain little things, and plus I had to get somebody to inquire into this Facebook thing. But most of all, ladies and gentlemen, we have to strengthen our platform, because I own for good now. You see, I'll take my time and I'll come and I'll strengthen
organizing myself on certain things. All right, there is as a matter of fact, let's see if we could take some calls now. Those of you, let's see if we could take a few calls. All right, let's try and take some calls. You know the number. The number to call is what? There's the number. Why this thing I don't know why this thing is not coming over here. The number is not coming over here. But 3210455 is the number to call. 3210455. Calling on the show, getting on the conversation. Call. Let me see. If we coming across, if people hearing you, if people hearing me. I know. I have to organize the show and strengthen it a little bit. I have to get my phone business operating because I want to call people. As a matter of fact, this is the only talk program on Facebook and on YouTube for this internal elections and beyond, because I'm building this program here for beyond the elections. This is it from now on. Yeah? I would have a regular scheduled programming coming on and all that kind of stuff. But I am building this. You see, this internal election, I want to have some debates. I want candidates to debate. Opponents, yes, from Parry team or Rambali team, whoever come in. Kyle and Anita Haynes and whoever, and Kamala Slade, Munilal and them Slade. I want them to come on this program and debate because, this is the program that everybody's supposed to be listening to and looking at. This is not no one-sided program because I want a better UNC. I want a stronger UNC because I know a stronger UNC means a stronger Trinidad and Tobago. This is what I know. So I want the people, the members of the UNC, all the 300,000 members to tune into this program and listen to your candidates. Listen to Anita Haynes debate Saddam Hussein, Kyle Taklal Singh, debate Dave Tanku, whomever. Listen to Munilal talk about how they're going to take the party forward. Let Paris say how you're going to take the party forward. Let Jolene John come and talk to Rambalio, to talk to Anita Haynes, and who is deputy, who going up for deputy. Deputy political leader, let them talk. Deputy political leader one on this slate, deputy political leader one on the other slate. Come together, let us hear what is the portfolio of these different offices and what you're going to do. What are your plans to take it forward and to take the party forward? How you're going to strengthen the party? That is what this program is about. Okay, so this is not going to be a one-sided thing, and this is a Parry show, and this is a Kyle Taklal Singh show, and a Rambali show, and Anita Haynes, and nobody else can come on. No. We are all UNC. All right? And at the end of the day, after the internal elections, we have to work together to defeat the PNM. We have to ensure that the PNM does not get another term. That is why we need to strengthen our party. We have a structure, but the structure is not operational. We have a structure, but we are not using the structure. We have a structure in place, of course. We have a constitution. We have a structure. But we are not implementing it. We are not using it. And that is what we have to do. We need to establish our structure, strengthen it, start utilizing it. We have to become a national party. We have to stop giving East-West corridor seats to people like Gary and Philip and whosoever come in. We only stay behind the Carney Bridge, and if we we go in the marginal seats and them kind of nonsense. PNM doesn't do that. You don't even fight in Tobago. The UNC doesn't even fight in Tobago. These things have to change. Once we start fighting all 41 constituencies, the UNC is going to become stronger and better, more formidable. Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay? So this platform here, this No Borders platform, is for all UNC supporters. Everybody. The good, the bad, and the ugly. If Kamala troll, not a problem. You come here, you would learn something. Alright? But those of us who understand the value of the UNC and the great work that we have done in the history of the development of Trinidad and Tobago in the very short time that we occupied office, you know that we have to regain office, because the amount of work that we do in 5 years, I mean, the amount of laws that were done, that the important and critical pieces of legislation that was set by Basilio Pandey's UNC, the Freedom of Information Act, the Integrity in Public Life Act, the Domestic Violence Act, the Judicial Review Act, the Child Protection Act, I mean, and I have, there's a whole lot, ladies and gentlemen, a whole lot. The children, the police complaints authority, all those things happen and more. And these are critical pieces of legislation that everybody benefit. You see, the UNCO always brings about a more democratic country. It always caters for the population to participate. It's a more participatory democracy we promote. The economy, we manage the economy way better with less. We save more. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the live now, because like nobody is calling. Well, nobody's on, unfortunately, and no fault of mine. I throw it totally on Facebook, and then those wicked people, local politicians who have decided to use their agents in Facebook to victimize me. I mean, I am accustomed to being victimized. That is what makes me strong, you know. But the victimization will eventually stop, and it may stop in sooner rather than later. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to thank you very much. Now you make your comments. Say whatever you have to say. You know, Garth Christopher's back is very broad, and you know, I do not have one spiteful bone in my body. You know that. Okay? So again, I want to thank you very much for tuning in to this live broadcast, No Borders. And you will get updated, and stay close to my Break Free Movement page. You know, I will post and I'll let you know when I'm doing my thing. Okay? But I'll be on a little more much more regularly. Or much more regular in the coming weeks and months and years ahead. You will see me here. All right. So again, I want to thank you very much, and good night.
No Borders with Garth Christopher. Tune in as he pushes the envelope in talk radio. Listen to him extend the current limits of performance and take you beyond the commonly accepted boundaries, testing those limits and taking you as far as it's safe to go. No Borders. Exceed the existing limits.